What's up, you guys? We are going to go over Christopher McBean's meet prep and his training leading into the Florida Collegiate State Championship, in which he was able to get an astounding 755 kilo total at 90 kilos. And the biggest thing I want to hone in on this video is how we were able to structure his squat and not even do singles in his program until about 1 week out. So I'm going to go over that and then dive into some of his deadlift and bench programming. All right, let's get into things. So I'm going to go over basically what we did for Chris. Main kind of unique thing that I want to discuss is his squat programming, and even his deadlift programming is kind of interesting. And then we'll go over a little over bench programming and then how he did it for his heaviest lifts and on meet day, what he hit. So overall, things went very, very well. So we'll start here where we were basically starting essentially a macro cycle and ending one as well. So essentially we had some momentum in these prior blocks coming off of CNATs, and we had really momentum. He was feeling really strong, so we wanted to capitalize on that and get a single on the board. So we were able to hit about 628, which is about 285 kilos. So we did that, and deadlift we ended with the triple with 633, so we were in a good spot. Then we had basically these two blocks here to really capitalize off the momentum we had off this last block of a macro cycle for squat, and then first block of deadlift and bench. So what we did here, C-stage part 2, is really the most unique part is for squat. You'll see we did a triple, top triple, all the way into the week 4. So we hit 595, which was really solid. And then we were able to go, what was unique is that I decided to make the executive call to just, instead of going into singles, we could do doubles and run doubles all the way to 1 week out. And then on that 1 week out, hit a heavy squat to then on meet day hit a single as well. So we went to week 3. We were able to hit 595 on the week 3, which then led us perfectly into a heaviest single with this. So I want to go into hit the heaviest double with 270. I should say 2 weeks out, but this went pretty well. So it was pretty smooth, which led very well, which this is what he ended up hitting on meet day. Hit that very smoothly, and you'll see that we like to take things very sub-maximally. So, which that was still a huge win. That was 287.5, which was on squat. We hit a massive meet PR, 22.5 kilo meet PR, which is nuts. That was great. And then bench, we did a pretty similar structure, pretty standard structure. We just went to triples, and then on this last block, we went to a triple and then a single. So pretty simple stuff. We just kept that triple in there though, just to kind of almost like make sure he warms up. And that in the prep, we almost thought he was maybe not warming up enough prior to his sets, so I kept that triple in there just to keep him and keep him a little bit more warm going into his top single. So we would hit a blue, 1 week out, which was pretty solid. So we'll get into that right here. That was 160 kilos, which was pretty solid. This went pretty well. Literally spot on for the day for a heaviest bench 1 week out. So pretty good. We attempted at CNATs 157.5 and failed it. So C-States, our goal was to get 157.5 or 160. So that was 160. That was about a week out, which was good. But we knew that we were cutting going into this competition, so bench would probably get hit a little bit. But we were able to come out and end up hitting 157.5, which is just 2.5 kilos under the best we hit in the gym. So not great, but still was a 7.5 kilo meet PR, which is pretty solid. Really great work. Although bench has been our lift that's toughest to progress, we still came out with a very big W. And then deadlift, we had a really good prep with deadlift, and really our structure comes down to this Friday deadlift, keeping it very sub-max, literally a total of really 2 sets with just a very easy single, that's pause deadlift. Goal here is just literally to touch weight, moderate amount of weight, very low volume, just to literally get in there and deadlift and then get out. Basically, just ran a 2x4, 1x1 on this right here, 2x4, 2x1 at one point. But we realized that the additional single wasn't really worth it after this block, so we just cut it to 1x1. That kind of helped peak him, I think. But nonetheless, very simple stuff. We ran this very same structure for a long time now. You'll see here we used to have more singles, so we kind of tapered that off because he just found it was not useful, especially for peaking his deadlift. So, but again, you have that very, one thing unique about his deadlift, right? Primary deadlift on Monday. I wouldn't say that's extremely common, but it's worked out well. And really, a big key here is that he does hit his heaviest deadlift here on this week 4, right? But then he has all these days to rest going into his heaviest squat, which is really nice. Yeah, his deadlift program was pretty interesting with the Monday-Friday split and only having 2 days off between his secondary and his primary. But again, that really low volume, low exposure, just get in there and touch it really works. So he basically has not much deadlifting in his program. Deadlifts on Monday, beats himself up, rests until Friday. Friday, just get a little bit of exposure in so that he can feel primed for his Monday. So that's really, in essence, like this deadlift session is really priming his primary, especially with that 2-day recovery time, which a lot of people typically benefit from a 3-day benefit of recovery time or 3 days off between their secondary and their primary. So really unique there in a sense. So overall, he had I'll show you his heaviest deadlift, which was 305, which moved great, moved pretty well. And then we were able to hit 310 on meet day, which was super solid, and a 10 kilo PR on deadlift. His squat moved at the same speed as in comp, and then obviously we hit 2.5 under for the heaviest bench, but it moved about the same speed as the heaviest bench. So really was able to replicate what we did in the gym at a heavier body weight on meet day at a lighter body weight. So that's the biggest thing for McBean, is that we knew going into it, cutting weight always is going to take some sort of toll on him, and we did a way better job this meet day, being able to, one, make sure we were a little bit closer to weight near competition, so the cutting process wasn't as bad. And then number 2, rehydrating and re-eating very efficiently and effectively on meet day really made him feel good. So we came out and had a really good day, totaling 755, hit a dots of 488, about a little bit over 20 dots PR. To be able to do that, to have a great performance at CNATs, to go do C-States and hit up over 20 plus dots PR and hit a massive MEET PR across the board on every lift is really good. Our next meets planned on being CNATs 2025. We are looking to possibly podium or at least get top 10. So he'll be competing for the University of South Florida. We're very excited to see how that goes. And going forward, we're not changing much with squat or deadlift really. And we're just playing around with some bench formula stuff to get his bench going. But it's been a pleasure coaching Mr. McBean. Very strong athlete, and we're looking forward to seeing what we can do in the future. So thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate you taking the time to learn about Christopher McBean's meet prep. I hope you enjoyed. Any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section. And take it easy.